see. And hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the GLP-1 Real Talk Live. Today's topic is myth versus fact, and we have a panel today. And look, we have a full screen. So my name is Pammy, and I'm Mounjaro, Journey with Pam. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody first, and then I'll tell you about what we're going to talk about today. So let's go ahead and hand it off to Kendi K all day.
Hi there, friends. I am Kendi K, and I am on my 22nd week using Zepbound. I'm on the 5 milligram dose and 39 pounds down.
Awesome.
All righty. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Julio, since he's next on my screen. And Julio, go ahead and let's introduce you, Riding the Tide.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julio Zayas from Riding the Tide. I've been on a GLP-1 journey since November 3rd of 2025. I am on 5 milligrams of Zepbound, and I am down 52 pounds since starting this journey.
And next on the screen, we have Paula. Paula. Paula is new to content creation. She has her own channel now, Paula's Journey to Health. Paula, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? And, one thing I forgot to do, and I'll go back a little bit, is let us know which GLP-1 you're using, how long you've been using it, and how much have you lost, if you don't mind saying. So, Paula, I'll start with you, and then I'll get back to Julio back around, okay?
Okay. Hi, I'm Paula, and I am on Zepbound 15 milligrams. I've been on it for 2 years and 2 months, and I've lost 83 pounds.
Woo, that's amazing. How many pounds? 83 pounds?
83. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Oh, and then Gemini Diva, Trina. Trina, go ahead and tell us which GLP-1 you're using, how long you've been on it, and how much have you lost, if you don't mind telling.
I'm Trina. I'm on Mounjaro. I just recently titrated up to 7.5. I've been on that since the middle of January. At first, I was on Ozempic. I was on that for a year and a half. So I'm down 55 pounds.
Woo! Yay! 55 pounds. Awesome, awesome. And Grant from Faithful GLP-1 Journey. Grant, you and Christy, if you remember her stats, go ahead and chime in on hers too. But start with yours. Like how long? I know you're on Mounjaro. And how long have you been using it? And what's your total loss now, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, hi, I'm Grant Campbell. I have been on Mounjaro since January 19th, 2025 on week 77, 15 milligrams now, and have lost a total of 85 pounds and am on maintenance now.
Congratulations, Grant.
Thank you.
And then do you mind sharing Christy's?
She's on week 10, I believe, of GLP-1 compound, but she lost the majority of her weight with running and such since February 23. She's lost 160 pounds, and she's also pretty much at maintenance as well, and using GLP-1 compound to help her with that.
Wow, February 23. She's really close. She's only 2 months after I started my journey too, and I wasn't on GLP-1 until August of 2023. So my 3-year mark is coming up too. Oh my goodness. And then Kendi K, I'm circling back. I didn't ask you which GLP-1 are you using. I know you're fairly new, but I heard today that you lost like 40 pounds or more. Tell us about that.
Almost. So close. I'm expecting to get to 40 pounds. I'm 39 pounds down using Zepbound 5 milligrams.
Woo woo. And how long have you been using Zepbound?
This is week 22. I took my week 22 dose, which is actually just my 18th dose. It's been a journey. I'm learning a lot.
Right. I know, right? Yeah, definitely. And then Riding the Tide, Julio, which GLP-1 are you using? How long? And if you don't mind telling us how much you've lost. Oh, shoot. Let me see. Hold on. Julio, you were muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, go ahead. Sorry,
Yes.
say that again.
No worries. 5 milligrams of Zepbound. I started November 3rd, 2025. I'm down 52 pounds since I started the journey, but I'm total down 91 pounds total weight
Wow.
loss.
Wow, that's amazing. Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's so
Mhm.
incredible. All right. So I think I got everybody's GLP-1. Let me go ahead and let you guys all know. Welcome to the panel. I definitely want to say hi to our guests real quick. And then, before I do that, I want to tell you what we're going to be talking about today. So we have in today's discussion, we are talking about GLP-1 myths versus facts. And there are going to be a couple of questions that you probably have not, and I'm hoping you haven't heard out there in the GLP-1 communities, because we wanted to make it a little bit different tonight. So there's so much information online about GLP-1 information. Some of it is helpful, some of it's confusing, and some of it is just plain false. So today's discussion is all about separating the myths from the facts together as a panel, and for with our community here, our guests, our friends. So our amazing panel has different experiences and perspectives. So remember, these are our personal experiences and opinions, not medical advice. We always encourage you to talk to your own healthcare provider about what's best for you. And we'd love to hear, we'd love for you to be part of our today's discussion. So as we go along through each myth, please answer in the chat some comments and things, and we're going to address those, and we'll try to get through everybody. And then we love it whenever you guys talk to each other. We may not displace all those little comments about hi to each other, but we encourage it, and we're reading it as we're going along here. So let us know in the chat, have you heard this myth before or a fact whenever we talk about it? And then we're going to be asking some questions to you folks too. So let's jump right in. And with our very first, actually, before we jump in, let me just go ahead and start saying hi to folks. So let me go all the way to the top. Woo, we've been getting a lot of people in here, so I appreciate that, guys. All righty. So we have Pursuers of Purpose. And that is Kara. She's like, hey, Kenny K, hey everyone. I mean, it looks like Kara. Is that Kara? Purpose,
Yes.
that might be her other account. And then welcome Texas Shane, TX Shane. Excited to hear all of the thoughts and advice. Oh, good. We're going to give it to you. Hopefully. And then Kara's here. Hey, Kenny K. Hey, everyone. And GLP-1 Teacher's Journey. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here as a fellow teacher. And a lot of us on here are teachers as well. And I bet you're here from Julio's channel too. So hello, everyone. And this is a great group for all of these discussions. I agree. And live with Vivi. Hey, Vivi. Hello, y'all. And TT the trucker. I wonder if TT's on the road right now. Woo, woo. Welcome in, TT. And Cara saying hi. Trina saying hi to everybody. And Charlie Bostwick, 1993, Ride the Tide. He's one of Julio's group members there, I bet. And then people are saying hi to each other. Oh, is that a hang 10? Is that what you guys do on the Riding the Tide? Oh, look at that. And Virginia, our sweet friend Virginia, so glad to have you here. Hello, lovely panel and chat. And then thank you, Messiah, there. And then TT Trucker saying hi and be well. Everybody saying hi to each other. And then Ann Quinton says, I'm here for Julio and Riding the Tide. Let everybody do this. Hang 10. I'm going to do the Julio thing now. And he said, this is a must see. Yes. And then Virginia saying hi to Cara. Let's see. We've got Cara saying hi to Cookie. All righty, guys, let me get in here and make sure I don't miss anybody. Welcome. Oh, and Christy Campbell is on the other room. She's in the other computer. Welcome, Christy. So glad to have you in the house. And Jude, hi, everyone. I'm here to support Julio. Well, thank you, Jude. We're so happy to have you here. Welcome. And then TT saying hi to people, and Julio saying hi to his people, too. And let me see here. Ooh, this is a lot going.
Yeah, you probably better just go ahead. We're going to keep welcoming folks in for you, y'all. We're down in that chat supporting everyone, saying our hellos. Go ahead.
Thank you. All righty. So let's go with our first myth versus myth or fact. And our first one, let me show it on the screen, is weight loss automatically fixes your body image. Is that a myth or is that a fact? So let me see. Raise your hand if you want to. Who wants to be first? Grant, you smiled up bigger, so I'm going to go with Grant. Grant, what do you think? Does it show it?
Well, let me ask for a clarification on that. Body image, like the image you see yourself or others see you? What do you mean?
So let's go with how you see yourself, how your body image is. Does it fit?
Oh, it definitely doesn't automatically change. That's a bust right there, because even after your body starts to change, you still don't see yourself as changing for a long time. At least that was the way it's been with me. You still see yourself as the 300-pound person like I did for a while. It takes some psychological adjustment for sure.
Yes. And anybody else have something different about that myth to say?
Nothing, but I would just say that, yes, that's the myth. That's a myth that, yeah, I still see myself even at 39 pounds down. I am just now able to kind of walk past a mirror and kind of catch my side view and say, oh, I do think I look a little smaller. And we've got some questions coming in, so you might want to start at the bottom of the chat, because you have a question at 14 after.
All right.
From BW Christian. Let's see if we can get that one up.
Let's see. Christian. Oh my goodness.
BW Christian.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. All right. So BW Christian, I have been prescribed Zepbound. My question is there a medically sound way to come off without regaining? So I'll start with maybe a little opinion, just because I'm a little on the OG side on here, and I've been on Mounjaro since August of 2023. And, even though I started my health journey at the end of December 2022, I've been in maintenance for a year and a half. What advice that was given to me, some people are able to gradually wean themselves down if they do not have the disease of obesity. If you're somebody who has tried several different diets, and even for me, I've had weight loss surgery even and regained weight after 5 years. I've tried so many different health journeys and diets and things, and eventually habits come back, the mind kind of takes over, and weight has gradually crept back on. And so my doctor was telling me at first, well, we could try titrating down slowly, because you don't want to get off real quick, because it seems like that's kind of where we see more issues. But for some people, they might be able to gradually taper off and just keep their lifestyle, make sure that they're doing all the things that they were doing during their weight loss journey. But probably the biggest thing is working real closely with your healthcare providers and registered dietitian. There could be that possibility, but that's where you find out if the weight comes off. Be ready to possibly talk to your healthcare provider about going back on. And that's what mine told me. Yes, there's that possibility that we could go off and come back on, but after we've been on this for 3 years, they told me, Pam, you're a lifer, your body needs it. So I think that some people have the disease of obesity, and some people maybe life changes, hormonal changes, and things like having kids and things triggered it, and they might not have the disease. And so there is a possibility. Not everyone has to stay on this, I don't think, for a lifetime, but some of us will need to as some type of dosage. Anybody else have a different answer for that one on the panel?
Yep. I can kind of talk a little bit more on it. As far as my take on it, is that I'm understanding it as it's a treatment, not a cure. So the way I'm seeing that, and I was just talking to Dr. Anya about this over the weekend, and she pretty much when it's a treatment for you, when you have a metabolic dysfunction and you're taking this medication and it's treating it, getting off the medication means that it's going to return. You still metabolically have the dysfunction. It doesn't resolve it. It just treats it. So as long as you're on the medication, you're okay. And then when you get off the medication, it returns to the way it was. That's kind of her explanation to me, was basically in those terms. It's true. If you don't have the metabolic dysfunction and you're taking the medication for other reasons, then you're not treating that aspect of it. So then you could probably get off of it at that point.
That's so right. I'm glad you said that, because I remember on one of the interviews with the Downsize, they were talking to an obesity doctor, and they said that obesity can go into remission. So you're maintaining, but it can quickly come back too. So yeah, definitely keeping that treated. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. And I forgot that you were just at the conference. So you've got some great knowledge to share with us. I'm going to go to the question here from Ann Quintman. And it's addressed to Kendi. I had a moment the other day. My husband said to me that he couldn't tell it was me coming down the stairs. Oh, because I was moving so fast. It took me a few days to realize that was an NSV, a non-scale victory. Oh my gosh,
Congratulations,
love that.
Anne. Congratulations. And that's just a reminder to all of us. We're on these weight loss journeys. We're so driven to just, continue to lose, continue to regain our health, get our health back. But we've got to take some time to smell the roses. And that comes in the form of all of these wonderful non-scale victories. And just that in and of itself is just a beautiful thing. And so enjoy that. And congratulations on your weight loss. And thank you for chiming in.
I love these non-scale victories because, and it took me a while to visually see myself in this new person. And I did the same thing as Kendi. I looked and I saw this mirror, an image in the window or a mirror, and I stopped and I took a picture and I said, is this me? And I was like, oh my gosh, my legs are finally smaller, because I've always been bigger in my lower body. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was like the last part that was really something that came down, was my legs. And Cara says, I can tell a difference in my weight and how my clothes are fitting. And when I see myself in pictures, that's what I would recommend, guys. If you could take a picture of yourself, it's like whenever you go and try on clothes, take a picture and then look at the picture, because you see it in a different angle. It's different than looking at your image directly from a mirror. And then Isdarium says, hey, BW Christian, I think that's a great question for your care team, and see if titrating off is appropriate for you and your health needs. Great. I love that answer, Darium. Thank you so much. And then let's see. Oh, that's Kendi's. Yep. And she answered that. And yes, remember, friends, that we are not medical advisors. Please check with your PCP, your primary care physicians, and your medical providers. And then, let's see. Joseph Shani, and she was responding too. For most with a diagnosis of obesity, it's hard to wean off, but definitely doable. But if you weren't able to do it out without the medication, most likely you will need the medication. That's a good aspect there. And then let's see. Also, Cara was mentioning about the inflammation, and that's for me too. When I have to get off the medication for a medical procedure, I definitely see the inflammation creep up. I have lipedema, or some people say lipedemia. I have lymphedema. Arthritis in my knee. The inflammation comes back with a vengeance within 2 weeks. It's like, oh my gosh, so for a lot of us, I know knee issues also with Kendi K here. We both have those knee conditions, and you feel it. The arthritis, like the inflammation takes away the pain for us. Everybody's going to be different, of course. We love our teachers. I see Kendi saying. And then, hey guys, if you have a question, start your question with a QQQ, and then we can see it easier too. And then Virginia says, what I've learned to appreciate more since starting Zepbound June 2025 is how I feel. The weight loss is fantastic, but how I feel is priceless. She is so grateful. I love that for you, Virginia. And Virginia is so close to her goal weight too. I think if I remember right, I think Virginia is only like 11 pounds away, something like that. She's very, very close. Yeah. And then Grant says, Virginia, getting the blood work in line and feeling better trumps the scale number every time. I know. And I know that's probably one of the hardest things for us to do is, look at all the other healthcare numbers and things rather than just that scale number. Alrighty. So then that actually answered one of our next questions. So I'm going to skip that one. And let's see here. What was the biggest myth that you believed before starting a GLP-1? So I'm going to start with our newer users, because that's going to be more fresh in your mind. So I think, Kendi, you're, I think, the newest user on our panel. What do you think about this? Let me show that on there. What's the biggest myth,
I believe, before starting a GLP-1? was that it was like taking the easy route out. A lot of people will say that if you take a GLP-1, like I don't know what they're thinking. They're not really losing weight. I don't know what they're thinking. That's just crazy talk. This is a way to reclaim your health. And if taking prescription medication, if there's something wrong with it, then why do we have any prescription medication? So poo on that. And I'd love to hear what Paula and Trina have to say.
And Paula, so what was your, what's the biggest myth that you thought before starting a GLP-1? Let me make sure I've got Paula unmuted. Here we go, Paula. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
I actually didn't hear any myths. So as far as that goes, it was just all new. The whole concept was new, but I didn't hear any myths because I'm not one that tends to listen to those anyway. But I was nervous about it, because it is a medication and I didn't know how it was going to react to my body.
Right. That is definitely, it's like the worries of how is this going to affect your body? What is it going to do to you? Right. I think for me, my myth was I'm going to start losing a lot of weight. Like, think about this. This was like 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. And all I was hearing about, there wasn't very many people on it, but the people who had been on it, people were telling me they're losing weight. And I had a lot of friends who had diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and they were taking medication, losing weight. And I thought, man, if I could only take that medicine, and it just like escaped my mind for a long time before starting it. But that was probably my myth was, it's going to be magic and I'm going to lose a lot of weight.
Magic.
Trina, what was your myth before starting a GLP-1?
My biggest myth was I had a lot of people saying they was going to that you can lose weight instantly. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, I'm on this and I'm not losing weight instantly. Like they said, I mean, it takes time, a lot of time and a lot of patience. But that's one of the things that everybody kept saying, oh, you're going to lose weight. As soon as you take it, you're going to lose weight. I was like, no.
Right. And it's that's been the craziest thing for me is learning about how everyone has had a different experience. Even though I've lost 165 pounds, some days I've lost 170. I always go back to the 165 to allow for that up and down, right? My beginning journey wasn't that fast. Like I had already lost for 8 months. I was trying to get back into the low carb, the working out, the walking. I just walked. That's the only thing I did. And for 8 months, and it took me 8 months to lose 45 pounds, which was even with having gastric bypass. My gastric bypass was over in the year 2000. It was hard to lose weight. I wouldn't lose more than 25 pounds. So when I started a GLP-1, it wasn't fast. Like even my last year was pretty fast, but the first year going up was not very fast. So thank you guys. I'm going to go on to the next question because I know we have so many questions on here and I want to make sure that we address them. But going back to, yes, Virginia is only 11 pounds away from her goal weight. I think that is so amazing. Yay. It's so exciting to get people near, and everybody's going to get there. And I just want to sprinkle like this fairy dust to everybody so everybody can reach their goal weights whenever they
please do.
Fairy godmother. Yeah. Alrighty. So here's a good one. Myth versus fact for GLP-1. You don't need to exercise while taking a GLP-1. All right. How about Julio? Do you want to go ahead and take that first?
Sure. That's a fact.
You don't need to exercise while taking a GLP-1. And tell us why you think that's a fact.
So it's been proven, right? We know many people that have done GLP-1s. Their entire journey has been with zero exercise. Exercise is recommended. I'm a big proponent of that. I recommend it to anybody. I do a lot of videos about working out and exercise, but I also don't want somebody who's sitting at home scared to take this medication because they think that they're going to have to lift weights and they're going to have to walk around the block and they're going to have to get up and put shoes on and all this stuff. I highly discourage anybody to push exercise onto somebody who's in the dire need to take this medication and save their lives. So that's why I'm a big, I've done videos saying you don't need to use a gym or exercise to do this. And funny enough, talking to Dr. Anya this weekend, she's like, "Yeah, we don't lift weights." Her husband, they kayak,
Really?
but
Wow.
yeah, she's a big. She also agrees with that. You know, it's just one of those things where it's highly encouraged. You know, the exercise part of it, as far as the cardio, it's important for the cardiovascular, if you can at some point. And I believe a lot of people that I've talked to have done their full journey. They've lost all their weight, a year and a half, 2 years, and then started thinking about exercise and moving a little bit more, and maybe even making it to a gym. But I think it's the fact that you don't need to do it, and
I really appreciate that you said that, because we have been hearing a lot of, one of the things I wish I would have started earlier was strength training, because there was the muscle loss for me and I had to regain muscle. But you know what? Honestly, at 313 pounds, I can only walk for like 10 minutes. And I would walk for 10 minutes. I'd be tired. I'd have to stop. And then I would do another 10 minutes before dinner. And I would do that. And if I had to go up an incline, I had to stop and catch my breath. I mean, I couldn't believe how bad my health was at that time. And we do hear a lot, and it's I guess I've seen friends who didn't exercise and they lost a lot of weight. Wait, let me just rephrase that. They lost, like, let's say 45 pounds to 50 pounds and then experienced a stall. And then a lot of people will come back and say, oh, it's because you didn't do this or that. And, we're learning, and I think it's still a reminder for all of us how these medications do work differently. And like you said, it's so cool to hear from Dr. Anya. And we know, like, I'm a health teacher, and I teach the kids that they need to, like, our bodies they recommend an hour a day for kids and 30 minutes for adults. I always say, I wish adults would do an hour a day, because I feel like I wish I would have done an hour a day. But if I can just get in 30 minutes a couple, so many days a week, that's great. But I couldn't do that at the beginning, So I'm so glad that you said that. Does anyone think that it is a myth that you don't have to work out? I think now we're probably all afraid. Let me move on.
I just think that weight loss is going to be slower for you when you don't work out. And now that you're feeling better, I think before I was working out less prior to GLP-1s because I wasn't feeling well. I had a lot of inflammation in my body. Mm-hmm. And once I started feeling better, which happened, y'all, fairly quickly in the first week, by the end of that first week, I could already tell a difference. It had me already just parking the car farther away from the entrance to buildings and things like that. And you've got a lot of questions and great comments. So go to the bottom of your chat. I'm just trying to help you out here.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's Darium is there, and he's got a question down there.
There we go. It's Darium. I hear people talk about fast weight loss versus slow weight loss. Oh, yes. What does the panelists think are the numbers that define each category? Oh, my goodness. All right. So, Grant, do you want to go ahead and take that one for us?
Yes, I do. I saw that question, and I'm like, he's right on. There are no numbers to define that. In doing that, you would have to compare yourself to other people, because our bodies are all different. Whether it's slow or fast, you can't think that way. Your body's going to lose as it's going to lose. If you start comparing to other people, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
Right. I know that is because that's the hardest thing to do, because I feel like it is a thing in nature that we do compare ourselves to other people. It is one of those things that we do. And it's a constant reminder that sometimes we have to think about that. I will say that, just like Kendi, if I was experiencing a slow weight loss, I never had a long stall or anything, but I would get, like, when I was close to 200, my body didn't want to go down. And the more I hydrated, I drank my water, or, the protein waters and things, the more I hydrated and the more I got my walk in, I did so much better. But you know what? I have a sister who didn't walk as much as me, and she eventually lost weight too. She just lost it a little bit differently than I did. So yeah, it's so unique in how this medication affects us in different ways. And so Cookie says that she lost 80 pounds before she started to exercise. I waited because at my heavier weight, I didn't enjoy exercising and may have gotten burnout. I don't have any regrets, but that's just me. Oh, I love that, Cookie. Because you're right. You have to think about, like, there's people who are, and whether you're 300 pounds, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, our bodies feel different things differently. So, like, even though I may be different than somebody who was a lot heavier than me, because I was that weight for a long time, I had some deterioration in my bone, my knees and things, and it was hard to move around. And so once I started dropping the weight, and just like Kendi, I got encouraged. I started walking better, longer. Gosh, the day that I was able to get down on my knees and not hurt was a blessing. I could not. I never thought I would ever get down and be able to get on the floor and pick things up off the floor. Let's see. And Katie, do I have a question that I missed in here? Okay, I don't see. Here we go. Wait, was this one? Took advice. Okay, so Virginia says that she didn't. I didn't. Thank goodness I took the advice of my care team to avoid them, and I follow the GLP-1 community closely, and I appreciate the advice to avoid them. It's gone well, and that was about I think getting off of the GLP-1s, I believe. All right, so we're gonna go in. Let me know, guys, if I miss one, okay? And then let's just talk about supplements. GLP-1 myth versus fact. You need supplements because you'll automatically become nutrient deficient. Who would like to take this one? Paula or okay, there we go. Julio, go ahead.
Sure. I say it's a myth.
Yeah.
I believe it's a myth. We get our nutrients, and look, we've already said that we're not doctors and we're not giving medical advice. This is our experiences, the things that we have learned. Because I know some people are like, well, you need to go to your PCP. Yes, absolutely. Every single question here, go to your PCP. We're just discussing our experiences, and this is my experience based on the information that I've learned and the research I've done and my own personal experiences. And I try to get all my nutrition from my food. So I really track my food. I make sure that I'm eating the certain types of carbohydrates, clean eating, my protein, and my supplements are coming from my food. Sometimes I do work out extra hard, and I'm burning a lot of, I'm sweating a lot. I don't want to say overdo it, but I get pretty extreme sometimes. And then I may do an electrolyte just to kind of supplement, my obviously electrolytes in my body at that point. But it's not needed. It's just something that for me personally, I'm doing. I also do creatine monohydrate as a supplement for me for muscle building, but it's not needed. So that's why I say it's a myth. As far as the medication goes, it doesn't mean that you're instantly deficient in nutrients. And that's a myth, in my opinion.
Thank you.
And again, every person is different, especially as a female losing weight. And at 50, I'm 50 years old, friends, versus a male losing weight. And I've been anemic all my life, and as a woman. And so, you've got to be in contact with your medical providers. They've got to be doing, blood workups on you. And electrolytes weren't just something I started doing because it was something that was in my chart as a message from my primary care physician and my dietitian. And my doctor, as soon as he saw that blood work, oh yeah, I need you using electrolytes. And I use the berry melts for my B12 and my iron and also my D3. And I love berry melts because there's no swallowing hole or anything like that. They just melt in your mouth, not even under your tongue. They just melt in your mouth. And so, yeah, you got to get your blood work. And if your blood work calls for it, it might be needed because you are at such a calorie deficit. But I love what Julio is saying. Y'all try to eat the rainbow, and
Yes.
that will help a lot. Yeah, that's the best way to get your nutrients, is to eat them whole
I like
food.
that you said yes, whole food. Yes, even better. I like that you mentioned the berry melts. You know, berry melts were made for people with bariatric surgery, and so whenever I had gastric bypass, we were we were told to take chewable vitamins. Now, someone like me with gastric bypass, and not a little bit more so than somebody with VSG, but gastric bypass and duodenal switch, we become very nutritional deficient easily, and so I have to take my supplements every day. And I've ran low on iron all the time. Always have to take iron and magnesium. But thankfully, my PCP does a blood work every 6 months, because we're working on the vitamin D, all the different vitamins and things. And I think that is so important, to find out what your numbers are to do that. And my registered dietitian and my PCP both say, like, hey, make sure that you're eating your protein more than you drink your protein. That too, your vitamins and minerals and things. So I noticed that I saw here Kara was saying, that back on the last question, the myth. I believed until just a few months ago. I was overweight because I just wasn't disciplined enough and needed to develop more self-control and willpower. I am now grateful to know much better. So, that is just amazing. I'm so glad to see these insights, from everyone. And let me just make sure that I don't miss one. Let's see. And there was another one too. I'll go back. Julio is right. I don't need to exercise well on a GLP-1, but if you are physically capable to exercise in any form, it helps to maintain lean mass, and it has health benefits as well. And I wanted to mention, and I think this is one of Julio's panel members. How regularly are these discussions? I am glad to catch this. So I know the Real Talk live panel, it has been going on Mondays. Currently live at 5 p.m. Eastern. There have been a little bit of changes because of the summertime schedules. And Kendi's always good about having the host, announce what time it's going to be. So I hope you'll follow all of us on the panel, and because we all will shout it out, and even people that you don't see on the panel have been on the panel in the past will always usually post it in the community post. And all right, let's go ahead and let me go to another question in here, and let me see. Okay, let's see. All right. Oops, sorry guys. I was just reading a little comment here. Let's talk about, we kind of talked about protein. I'm going to skip that one right now. Let's talk about it. All right. This is going to be a good one, guys. All right. GLP-1 myth versus fact. Only people who lose weight fast will have loose skin. I feel like that's been, and I don't know if it's just for me, but I feel like that's been a hot topic recently. If you're a slow loser, you're not going to experience any loose skin. I don't know, guys. I've heard both ways. Who wants to tell me what they think? Is that a myth or a fact?
Myth.
Paula, or was that Paula? Tell us how you think that's a myth.
It's a myth because I've lost weight relatively slowly, and I have loose skin. And I've tried to do all the things that they've told me to do, the protein, I started, strength training, all of that. I still have loose skin. Well, it could be my age too, because I think I'm the oldest one on this panel. But yeah, to me, it's a myth.
So I didn't, we're really close in age.
I don't think we're that close.
But I will tell you, okay, for somebody who, when I had gastric bypass, I was 310 pounds, and I lost 150 pounds. And with gastric bypass, I lost it fast, like faster than I lost it with GLP-1. It took me 2 years to lose this 165 pounds. But with gastric bypass, I lost it probably like in 6 to 9 months. It was super, super fast. And I was 30 at that time. I was 30, And I'm 56 right now. I'm going to be 57 in September. And now that I'm older and I've lost this weight up and down a few times, I experience the skin like that loose skin. And I think I'm starting to think that maybe it depends on how much people lose, and age could play a factor. Obviously, our collagen can kind of play a factor in there too. And Cara could probably speak to this too because she's got that the cosmetology in her. So Cara, so the question right now is, what do you think about on the myth versus fact? Let me pull it back up on here. People who lose weight slow will not have any loose skin.
I wish that was the case, but as Paula said so emphatically, I giggled when you said, no. I agree. I mean, it's just, we forget that the skin is alive. You know, it's not just like a sack over us that we can just tighten up. It's got blood vessels. I don't know why I'm echoing because I turned everything off. Sorry. But it's got blood vessels and it's connected in all these different ways. So it's just really complex. But there are some things that we can do along that can make it a little less. It's not going to diminish it completely, but it can make it a little better than it has to be. You know, I think as much as I understand and I wanted to embrace the idea of I'm going to wait until I get some of this weight off of me before I start exercising, the more research I did, and the more I face the truth, what I really believe is that along is going to help this skin to adjust. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. So that's why I decided I'm going to exercise, but I am being careful. I'm taking care of my joints. I'm doing things that are really low impact, but are still building muscle and helping my body to kind of transition instead of all to nothing or nothing to all. Usually our bodies don't react well to that.
You know what? That's what I liked so much about once I started learning about the daily 50, where you do 10 reps, 5 different exercises with 10 reps each. And they didn't require any equipment. And you can modify these because I never knew I could do a push-up until I finally, I had lost the weight before I tried it, is one point. But and I don't have to get down on the ground. I can modify, or on the floor, I can modify and do push-ups against the kitchen countertop and get just as much workout in my arms. And Julio, you could probably chime in on this one because I know Julio's like the bodybuilder over there. So let me try to get my muscle. I'm trying. And Grant's have been working out too. And Paula too. You guys, so I know with the muscle building, I get a lot of comments about, well, I can't do squats. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like people are at different levels. And if we could just, practice getting, up and down from a chair, the sit to stands, things like that can give you some of that strength training, and you listen to your body and you figure out what you can do. And if it's just a few of them, just try a few of them, and go along with that. But I've been adding collagen for over a year and the wrinkles haven't gone away. I'm resorting to the plastic surgery option. Anybody else have anything to add about the loose skin?
Well, we're working on, all of us together are doing a skin series on my channel. Like, I'm happy to come on anybody's channel and do it because there are some things we can do. There's different kinds of massage and different treatments we can do that will help. It's not gonna, sometimes we want these wild swings. I want to go back to how I was before I had children. That's ridiculous. That's never gonna happen. And it wouldn't be right. It would be some kind of weird witchcraft that will probably have something that you would have to pay back, like
Pixie dust.
like Ariel or something. You'd lose your voice or something. That would be crazy. So it's not that. We have to embrace. It's not the price we pay. That sounds negative, but it is proof of life. We've been here. We've been through some things. So that's how I'm embracing it. I'm hoping for things to get better, but I'm just embracing it because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yes, I heard that comment recently, and it might have been from you. It's kind of like it shows your hard work too. Doesn't mean you have to live with it. Like if you want to get do something
Yes.
about it, tighten it up. Like today, I exfoliated my skin. I got some castor oil because Kenny K was talking about castor oil today, and I was like, let me get my castor oil out. And I'm massaging because I'm trying to think of lymphatic massage can help with inflammation. Let me do that with my legs and my arms and on all over. And there's different things that we can try to help us along. And I work on the inside, the internal, what I'm eating, the healthy fats, the supplements like the collagens and things like that, and I'm working on the outside as well. But after losing 165 pounds, it is not going to shrink back in certain areas. But it would be nice. But I maybe to tighten it has tightened up a bit. But it definitely isn't going to take it away. And I know guys have loose skin too, right, guys? Like there's the tummy area. I think is the probably the most troublesome for some guys. I know my friends they tell me that. I don't know if guys have the bat wings though. Do guys get bat wings when they lose weight? I don't think so. I don't see it.
No.
Bingo.
Yeah, look at those arms. Oh my goodness. Trina. Oh, Trina, what do you think about that? The loose skin of it all. Oh my goodness. Do you think that
The
when
loose
people
skin, I'm a slow uh, weight loser. So the loose skin to me is okay. I mean, yeah, like you say, you can't go. There are some places that you just can't go back to. You know,
right?
um, the bat wings. I have bat wings. You know, that's from all that bacon and everything. I'm just gonna keep it. And so I mean, the loose skin. They say that you know you can tighten it up. With exercise, and the last resort is the surgery for loose skin. There's some people that don't get loose skin because they already tighten it up. It just like Shawnee has said in the chat. It's genetics, weight loss, strength training. It's all that.
True.
Exactly. Yeah, genetics plays a big part of it. We definitely have to look at that and remind ourselves. Kara, somebody was talking about twins on the story of twins. Tell us about that because I can't find the story on here. What is this?
Yeah, Grant saw it before I did because I saw him mention it. So I went back. So Anne was saying that she's a twin and that she and her twin actually had different stories. And she said it's a funny story. So Grant was like, I would like to hear that story. I said, I'm with Grant. I would like to hear that story too. So we'll have to get with her and learn more because I don't know the story, but I'm interested.
Oh, yes, I know. Everybody's saying, yep, they want to hear this story. Oh, and Paul Amadeus is in the house. Hello,
Yes.
Paul. Hello. Welcome. I'm sorry I didn't see you sooner, but welcome in. And everybody's saying hi to Paul. And here we go. So Charlie says strength training is important to not lose muscle mass. The longer you wait, the harder it is to be the harder it will be to get back to where you were before GLP-1. Interesting story there. And then and Grant is saying G Money is saying hi to Paul on Wheels. That G Money. And then let me see here. And there we go. And Kendi says, Real Talk GLP-1 Real Talk Live panel is here every Monday. Check the community posts and the thumbnails. Set your notifications to all. That was to answer the question earlier about how often are these questions out there. And Kendi was saying that she agrees, Charlie. That's what I'm learning, that strength training and some cardio are just good for the body. Why not? Yeah. If you can do it, why not? And then if you can't do it today, maybe you'll get to a point, or once you get to a point, you'll probably, just try a little bit and see whenever you can add that in. But I think that is so important. I really love hearing from Julio about what Dr. Anya said is they don't want that to discourage you because, we've been hearing all of our life, eat less, exercise more. We don't even like to use the word exercise because that is a turnoff to people. Exercise, that word. We say movement now. It's a little bit easier to hear. Definitely. And then Doses of Shawnee says, please work out through the journey. Not a guarantee for no loose skin, but definitely good for your heart. Yeah, definitely is a good for your heart. Nutrition, strength training, and genetics are the best combo for loose skin. And then Virginia was saying, so true, Cara, nice and easy. When I first started exercising, I walked my dog 3 times a week, 5 minutes each session. Oh, I like that. That's all she could handle. And it's not just about the physical, it's the mental also. Oh, yes, you guys, that definitely the walking gets those endorphins running, that epinephrine, like we call it, the runner's high. They definitely, like, not everybody experiences that, but getting outdoors, I'm going to tell you, I did not like walking outside because I didn't want anybody to see me. And you know what I would do? I would wait until it was like a little bit darker because in the daytime, everybody would see me walking. And I was just like, oh, I don't want them to see me. And so it was important. I did do some water aerobics, but I brought in equipment into my house to feel better about it. And I'm so glad I did that because it gave me options. And now I can walk and I don't feel embarrassed, and that was just me. And then, oh wait, Paula, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that because exercise has been so good for my mental health. It has been my genetics is predispositioned for depression, and that has it saved my life actually. So I can't say enough good things about exercise, especially walking. If you can get out and walk, that's tremendous.
It definitely helped me at the beginning of my journey too, being at the hospital with my grandson. Walking was one of the greatest ways I was able to walk and reflect and pray, and it just takes your mind off of things. It's amazing. It's incredible when you can experience that. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate you sharing that, definitely. And then Charlie says, what property of GLP-1 gives you the side effect of bloating? It's very annoying. It's because it's it slows the gastric emptying. And I believe that from what I understood, that's why we can experience bloating or constipation, but some people have just the opposite. Some people experience having to go to the bathroom more often. And so I think sometimes it's like in the beginning, it could be a combination of what you're eating, perhaps with your GLP-1. It could be the body trying to adjust, but I don't know. Those are just the things that I have noticed. Does anybody else have an answer for a side effect of bloating? Because I know Candy K was just talking about that today too.
I would add, sometimes when we change what we're eating, it just, sometimes you're not used to having, for instance, I'll just put myself out there. So I love chia pudding now. I had heard about it, but I had not tried it until I started this because I'm eating so much Greek yogurt. And I love it. It's so good for my gut. It tastes so great the way that I make it now. And the chia also makes me a little gassy. So I've had to adjust. I just have to know that and adjust. What I did was adjust how much I ate, but also the time of day. And, we just have to play around with things because our body is changing.
True.
Definitely. And Anne has a good question or a comment here too. So as soon as she hit maintenance, I'm starting the loose skin removal process. As a cancer prevention, I had to have a total hysterectomy a year before my weight loss journey. My cat and I were twinning. Is that who the twin was? Wait. Anne says we both had saggy bellies. Oh. Okay. And you got us going on that one. Oh, and Kitty says, and I'm not opposed to having skin surgeries if and when it is needed. And she also said movement definitely makes it more accessible for people who are not used to exercise. Walk to the end of your driveway, park for. Oh, I've been hearing that a lot. Paula says she's been parking away, far away in the parking lots because her and I both have new cars and we have moving away from and don't park right next to the grocery carts. And I know we're getting close to end. I'm going to try to hurry up and do quick through here. Anne says my twin and I both had comorbidities, but they were different. That's why she's on Mounjaro. Oh, okay. So maybe the twin isn't the cat. Okay, so they both had comorbidities, but they were different. That's why you guys don't give me the giggles now. That's why she's on Mounjaro and I'm on Zepbound. After I started and was having great success. Oh wow. Okay, and then everybody's cracking up about Anne and the cat. And then Anne says, my twin said, oh no, I can't have you weighing less than me. So she started even though she was afraid. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna need to add Kenny back to the stage up here. And okay, oh sorry, Cara. Was it mighty Cara? Oh, okay. Alrighty. And let's get Kenny K. Oh, let me get on here. There we go. All righty. And so Kenny K, so we have Anne with the twin, and I'm sure you heard about the kitty cat. We were like, is that a cat or is that her sister? And so when they both started, they were afraid that one person would weigh less than the other. So I think that is incredible. So Candy K, would you like for me to do a little questionnaire, or just go to one of the last questions that we have on here?
Well, I still have time to talk. I don't know what the other panelists feel like, but yeah, we've got great folks who are still chiming in. So let's just roll with it a little bit. So yeah.
Alrighty. Now, and this was kind of going along with the theme. So GLP-1 myth versus fact. And there's a lot of us in here who have had some type of bariatric surgery and eventually did some regain. I regained it all. I'm just going to be honest. I regained it all. Like after about 5 years, I felt like such a failure. And I know probably a lot of us have felt that way, but only people who lose weight with bariatric surgery end up with loose skin. And, we did talk about that. So, but bariatric surgery, now gastric bypass and duodenal switch, probably, I don't know. I've noticed that they lose weight a little bit faster sometimes in VSG. But again, just like GLP-1s, everyone kind of loses it at a different rate. But do you guys think that people who have bariatric surgery have more loose skin than someone who loses from GLP-1? No? Yes, go ahead, Julio.
I just think there's so many factors that go into loose skin that it's not an answer. I was going to say earlier, I'm between fact and myth because there's just really no way. And there's no, from what I've researched, there's no real science behind it. We can always do things that could possibly help it. But at the end of your journey or when you get to your weight, you're not going to really know if it did help it or you just happen to be, that's where you were going to end up at. It might make you feel better to think that you did everything you could and you didn't end up as bad as you thought you might end up. And that's okay too. It's so everybody's different. There's just so many different factors, like we were saying earlier, age or, skin, whether you're a darker skin or genetics, there's so many different factors. I've seen people that lost it really fast and have very little loose skin. I've seen people who lost it slow and had a lot of loose skin. So there's I don't know that there is just a right, perfect answer. And, we can all just do the best that we can so that we can feel the best that we can for ourselves. And if you end up with loose skin, you can always have a surgery if you want to, but if you don't, you can always embrace it and know that you're better now than you were before. And I'm coming to terms with that. I just did a video with my shirt off, and that was a huge leap for me to do, so that was very, very hard. I've been very ashamed of the way I look for a very long time. And still, I look like we were talking earlier. I still look at myself, and I see the 285-pound guy. it's hard for me to even process that I'm where I'm at right now. Still, I'm working on it. And pictures, like we just saw, obviously over the weekend we had pictures, and someone took a picture of me sitting down, and that's always been my feet. Like that's when I feel the worst, when I'm sitting down like this, and you take a picture of my stomach. And we were sitting down. Somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take a picture," and I was like, "Oh no!" And I was so afraid. I wanted I wanted the pillow. I wanted the pillow so I could cover my stomach, and I didn't have a pillow. And then when I saw the picture, I'm like, "My gosh, like there's not a belly there the way I thought there was gonna be." It's just but the brain is still processing it that way. And I was talking to a couple of people there that were saying the same thing. And one of them is Dennis, from the downsize. He's always with helping the downsize with all
the
our
camera,
stuff.
right?
He was saying the same thing. And Dennis is super thin. I mean, super thin. And he's he looks great. He's not super thin in a bad way. It's super thin in a great way. He looks fantastic. But even he's, because he's already there at maintenance, and he was telling me how he feels the same way.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, because here we saw your guns and your arms there, and I would never think about that. And I forget about guys, and they have loose skin in different areas, and then like you said, the body image. Sometimes it takes a while for our brain to catch up to the loss. Like I remember looking at pictures, and I'd always kind of do the whole thing, like stick out your neck, look down, try not to get the double chin showing and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm shocked whenever I see pictures. I'm like, oh wow, I don't see that anymore. So what do you guys think too, on there is sometimes what do we want to say, people there's different viewpoints about skin removal surgery. Is it cosmetic and never medically necessary?
Absolutely not.
Grant, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that.
I mean, Christie's went through that journey. Not only did she, she ended up with 15 pounds of loose skin she had removed, and she wasn't on bariatric or anything. She just lost it with clear deficit and a lot of running. But, once she got to that point where she was so loose, I mean, medically it was necessary to get rid of that stomach loose skin that she had, because she would end up with the rashes and all that occurs with all that extra hanging there, and you got to get it removed eventually, because that can cause infections and all that.
Right. Oh, and thank you, Virginia, is reminding everybody, please hit that like button when you get a chance. Thank you. And there's a lot of things that people don't talk about. And when you have skin that hangs down, especially like in the stomach area and other areas, the skin folds can come, you can get right out of the shower and you've scrubbed the area, and then there could be an odor, right afterwards. You're like, I just took a shower and I have an odor. You can get boils, you can get rashes, you can get all kinds of skin deterioration, the skin breakdown. So it's not just a cosmetic thing. Like there's a lot of medically necessary times to have skin removal. It can also cause mobility issues. Imagine somebody who had a large apron that hangs down, and they're trying to ride a bike or walk, and the apron is in the way of their mobility. So there are like all kinds of different types of hanging skin that we don't even think about. And so it's not always cosmetic, and a lot of times with weight loss it's usually it's not going to be a cosmetic thing. But
and to piggyback on that a little bit too, the compression garments do help before and after. I think that was BWC Christian that asked that. Christy really speaks highly of those compression garments and socks, as Candy K said too. They really help.
Yes, and one of the things I did is you can buy sleeves even on Amazon, and you can wear, they look kind of like this, and you can wear your sleeves and it will hold in the skin. I mean, like to a certain point, right? But it feels like it's a lot better having a sleeve on than not. And so that can be a helpful thing. Other people have used different types of compression garments all over their body, depending on what they stand to have on there. And maybe that's a temporary help until they get to a point where perhaps they can have surgery. I know that one of my questions is that that a myth, GLP-1 myth versus fact, insurance never covers skin removal surgery. And I'm going to answer that one
Okay.
because I had found a way, and I know everyone has different insurances, but I know that, so I'm going to start with that. I'm very thankful to my teachers union and everybody who did the insurance there. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Or Kenny's like, I'm listening in. I'm listening. Okay. Um, okay. So I do have an insurance that is a PPO, which is a preferred provider plan. And when I was having a hernia surgery last year, it was an abdominal surgery that I had because of my gastric bypass and having the open one back in the day. That I started asking the doctors, well, since you're going to go fix my hernia, can I get the tummy area, the panelectomy area? Can I get that done at the same time? And so because I asked that question, that doctor worked with a plastic and reconstructive doctor. And so he's not, I think professionally, they're not allowed or told to recommend, but once the patient asks for it, and then I told him, well, can you recommend some people who I could vet, I could go have a consultation with? And so kind of find out, I went to a couple doctors, and he works with a plastic and reconstructive doctor, and they both do surgery in the same hospital, and they were all in network. So I would say the advice I've gotten is to look for in your insurance policies, who's in network, look for plastic and reconstructive surgery, never cosmetic. And then it all depends on how you talk about things. Never talk about how you look. I don't like how I look this way. Always talk about the skin deterioration, the breakdown, the rashes and things like that. That's going to be your key. If your insurance covers any of it, a lot of times where they will cover first and foremost, though, I've noticed the most is a panelectomy. And that is like the tummy tuck, the lower skin area, the apron. So document it, go in there and get some prescriptions for fungal cream, antifungal and powders, and I think that seems to help. Take some pictures when you do have a rash, and just in case they ask for it. My doctors were able to put that in the notes and they accepted it. I'm very thankful and gracious that my insurance covered that surgery. And I think they're even willing to pay for some more. Not everything. They already told me they won't do your face.
And Pammy, I think you're on to something, and I'm so glad that we're having this conversation at this moment. Y'all, that's what you get on the real GLP-1 Real Talk live panel. You get all of these various perspectives as we share our weight loss journeys and what we are learning, what we know, and how it is for us. But my sister has lost a significant amount of weight, but when she was at her heaviest, she also had a breast reduction surgery. So it was totally not cosmetic because of her short stature. She might be 5'1", bless her heart. But her breasts were very large and it was affecting her back. And so that is what allowed her to get that surgery, a breast reduction. And so I think in a similar fashion is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Is the underlying conditions that affect you medically that your insurance might be more inclined to offer you that. And so I leaned into what you were saying, Pammy. You got to start having those conversations with your doctor. These panels are great for us to just talk and share our own stories, but y'all, you've got to advocate for yourself. And that's one thing that Kendi K does. I'm like, look, can I get physical therapy? How many sessions? Is there a copay? Chiropractor? How many sessions? Oh, medical massage? Oh, is that in my plan too? Yeah. You got to advocate for yourself, and y'all. If you're on my channel, I'm always gonna let you know all the things that you can get that we're paying that money out of our paychecks, y'all. We might as well use it.
And I have to attest to what Pam was saying too, because Christie's was covered by insurance after a lot of documentation, pictures sent through the portal and all that. Another thing I would recommend, just from personal experience, if you go through a university hospital, it seems to be even better. They seem, at least in my experience, to really fight for you to get coverage where a lot of others didn't fight. So.
That's a good point.
That is so true. Yes, because we have two major hospitals in Los Angeles, Cedars-Sinai and UCLA. And I went to I went to both, and ended up going to Cedars-Sinai, and they're a research hospital and they're a teaching hospital. And that office is really good with their verbiage, and they fought for me a lot. Yes. And definitely, because when you have heavy breasts, you get back pain, and that can cause a lot of issues. So I have heard insurance covering that. And then Anne was saying loose skin. My reason for wanting it gone is primarily for health and hygiene. I don't want to be 80 years old with boils and sores. Oh, yes. I definitely understand that. And JGP Jr., good to see everybody. Hello, Pammy and panel and chat. And Virginia saying hi back. Everybody saying hi. I want to make sure that, thank you. Thank you so much. I wanted to make sure too, yes, if it's incredible if you can get your insurance. I was told about certain numbers that sometimes you can ask about, and just the verbiage. And so I think whenever you go to a doctor, and if you don't feel like they're going to fight for you, then just go to another consultation. You don't have to stick with that person, but I think it's a
doctor. Yes.
Yeah, go to another doctor, and go to look in your insurance plan and look at plastic and reconstructive surgery rather than the cosmetic, because the insurance doesn't like the word cosmetic. Does not like the word cosmetic. All right, Kendi. So I think I know we're getting close to the 3:15 mark, and is there any last words from the panel that you would like to add? Let me just go in here. What is one myth that you are tired of hearing and you would like to not hear that myth any longer? So Paula, why don't we start with Paula, and then I'm going to go to Trina. Paula, what's the myth that you'd like to see be gone?
I don't know if this is a myth, but one of the first things that someone said to me when I talked about being on a GLP-1 was, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do it the right way.
Oh, yes. Oh, doesn't that hurt? Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. You're going to do it the right way. Oh, and Trina, what about you? Which myth are you tired of hearing?
I got tired of hearing you can do it on your own, you don't need this, and you don't need that. I'm like, I have health issues. I need all I can get. I'm tired of hearing people just say, oh, you can do it on your own, you can do this, you can do that. No, I need some help.
It's so funny. We hear people talk about if you have high blood pressure, you're going to take medication for your high blood pressure, right?
Right.
But or high cholesterol or anything with your health. No one goes around and asks you, are you doing it the right way?
Yeah, right.
Kendi, I saw your hand up. Or you were just in agreement?
Just agreeing.
Yes. And Julio, what's one myth that you would like? Let me get that go off real quick. What is one myth that you are tired of hearing? Oh, wait, I don't hear you, Julio.
Sorry, I muted my mic so I didn't make noise when I drank my drink. So there is one myth that I'm pretty tired of hearing, but on the other hand, I'm kind of glad I hear it every once in a while, and that is there's lizard venom in the medication.
Yeah.
So I've heard that quite a lot from a lot of people. They've said it to me on my channel. I'm poisoning myself with venom from the lizard. So that's a pretty funny. It's a myth. However, I made shirts of a Gila monster.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're wearing the wrong shirt, buddy.
Yeah,
I've got one on.
Oh, love it.
Is there any other myths?
I've made it a funny thing, and I got Gila monsters lifting weights and surfing on a GLP-1 pen, and I got Gila monsters developing into humans, and evolving into humans, and I've made all kinds of shirts with the Gila monster. So I've taken that myth and the what I find to be extremely funny and made something of it, but it's pretty ridiculous that people still think that there's venom inside the medication.
That is so true. Oh my gosh, that is so true. And real quick, Christy was saying is the skin removal process is something that takes time. I will tell you, it took me 3 months in between each of my appointments to talk to each surgeon and to get it all scheduled. I started it in January, didn't have surgery until August. So keep that in mind along the way as you're vetting your different surgeons and you're asking questions and they're providing information to the insurances. So great comment. And so guys, as you can tell, there are a lot of myths out there. There are a lot of facts out there. And we all each sometimes have different opinions. And I think it's good to listen to each other's words of wisdom and the information that we're finding out there and get some words from our professionals. Getting those words back from the professionals is going to be really a great way to spread the positivity, spread the kindness, so that we can have less of this negativity out there. And we want to make sure that we're not looked down upon from other people outside of our community. We want to have good information. So as you can see, this conversation could keep on going on for a long time, right? We could keep on going, but we'll hold on to it maybe on another panel. So let us know if you're watching on the replay. Maybe there's some other questions that you would like us to address. We'll be glad to answer those. And we want to make sure that you come back and see us next Monday at the same time. And you'll look at hit the notification buttons. I know a lot of people are going live today. I know Grant's going live today. And I know Julio's going live today. And sorry, I didn't hit a redirect. So I don't know how to do a redirect. But quick plug, Grant, when are you going live tonight?
I'll actually be live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And a little preview, Christy's actually going to be showing her reveal from before skin removal and after.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Right on topic. Oh, my goodness. You said 9 Eastern?
9:30 Eastern.
9:30 Eastern. And Julio, are you going live right after this?
No, it's not tonight. It's Tuesday.
Tuesdays. Okay. Tuesday. All right.
Tuesdays, guys, 8 p.m. every Tuesday. Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern. All right. All righty, guys. Well, I hope that that we've given you some great information to digest. And we want to all thank you for coming in today. And yes, Kenny K.
I was just going to say, if you're trying to get over to Grant's channel or to any of our channels, go ahead and check in the description box. All of our channel links are already there for you. And just wanted to mention that. And I already did my live stream before today. It's my week 22 update. So check that out.
All righty. Sounds great, everybody. Well, thank you all for being here. It's been an honor to be your host this week. I appreciate you all. Thank you, guys. All righty. Bye for now.